Hey everybody, welcome back. I had somebody ask me about narcissistic rage once you've left them. I had a lot of experiences with that, and I think I've shared some of them. How I went back to my house to get some things. That was sheer craziness in itself. He acted like a loon, and then he was crying, and then he was crazy, and then he was crying, and of course that was all an act. After talking it out with my therapist and hashing the whole thing out, breaking it down, it was all an act. There was that. But as far as like rage after the fact, at least in my experience, my ex-hole did his best to kind of play it cool. Well, the thing is, anytime we were around each other after the fact, he made sure there was a bailiff there. He made sure there was a policeman there, and a lawyer. There was always somebody. He always needed a little buffer because he's a wanker. There was no room for that sort of thing. There was never a time when one of those people wasn't around, because he made sure of it, because he's a weiner. A lot of that didn't go on. I do know, based on my conversations with my son, that he went to his house, pounding on the door and making scenes and carrying on. That was all directed at me. That was because he couldn't directly take his anger out on me and take that rage out on me. He went through one of my kids, and that was the closest one geographically at the time. As far as I knew, he would go there and take it out on him. It was like without fail. So, something happened, if there was a motion in court, or something didn't go his way on a court date, I would call my son and warn him. I'm like, just so you know, this has happened, and he's going to be on a rampage. And 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what would happen. And he would raise all kinds of hell and carry on like a lunatic. I mean, that was the only thing he could do, because, with the divorce going on, and of course with John in my life, I was off limits. He didn't dare, come around me because he's a chicken. He talked this big game, but he always had to have somebody around as backup. He didn't do those things. I didn't, witness any of that, because we were always in the presence of, bailiffs and police and attorneys and whatever. But he would go and make those scenes at my son's house and carry on like that. And it was really upsetting for me that he was putting, one of my kids in the middle. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair. He was playing dirty, and it was all he could do. And it was the closest thing he could do to taking it out on me. No sooner did John and I get married, within days, he was on the phone to my son. So how was the wedding? I saw the wedding pictures, but you had to be creeping on Facebook. I mean, I just, the pettiness and he's just so childish. And it's like, why would you call and say, how was the wedding? I mean, if he got married and divorced 10 times over, I wouldn't care. Why even do that? Why even say anything? It's like, I don't know if he was trying to lay guilt on him, or if he was trying to make him feel bad, about the fact that I got married, or whether or not he was there, or did he want details? Do you want to know what kind of cake we had? I mean, I have no idea. I don't know what any of that was about. I could care less about his life. If he fell off the face of the earth, that's saying it nicely, I wouldn't care. I don't care. People ask about that. I mean, I think personally, in all honesty here, he would make a great case study. I mean, you all know that, I analyze things, and I like to know what stuff means, and I've had to dig deep, to, figure things out for myself, my own feelings and emotions, and, analyze stuff that happened with my ex and my family, and try to have a deeper understanding of why these nuts are the way they are. Wow, he would make a great case study. But, that's not happening. But aside from that, I don't care about his life. I don't care about what he does and who he's doing it with. When I went no contact, I went no contact hard. Like, hard. And so really is how, is what you should do. And I hear from people who are like, well, we have children. I can't be no contact. And so I'm like, oh, you really need to join our closed group, and you need to talk to some other people about this, talk to some people who have minor children and have to co-parent with a narcissist, because thank God I didn't have to do that. I wasn't in that situation, and it makes me feel bad when I don't have answers for them. So now being a part of the closed group and being able to talk to some other people about it hopefully helps, and they can share their ideas and share their experiences, help one another in that way. But I didn't go through that. Yeah, I didn't, you know, I do remember at his deposition, before when he was being sworn in, and she asked him if he, you know, swore to tell the truth, blah blah, and I was like, you know, I like scoffed or something, and he was like, wait, this is off the record, you know. He tried to stop like the whole thing and say, you know, he's like, does she have to be here? Is she gonna sit there and make all those noises and make all those faces? And I was like, I was dying. I'm like, we haven't even started and he's having a fit. I couldn't even believe it. Yeah, you know, he got, his little feelings got the best of him at the deposition, but oh well, whatever. So, you know, but again, there's lawyers there, you know, the whole 9 yards, and he always had a little buffer, you know, to protect his little baby feelings. So yeah, I don't have too much experience with that, other than because he couldn't get to me, he would take it out on the kids. Oh, there's my baby girl. He would take it out on my kids in any way he could, and he did it in different ways. That's just one way that he did with my son, because, you know, it was like en route to his job or whatever, and he could stop there and make a big scene. I know that he did it with my other children as well in other ways. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that they get caught in that crossfire. They weren't minors. I don't have experience in that. And I'm sure that each scenario has its, you know, pros and cons. You know, they're adults, but they don't, no one escapes unscathed from this situation, young or old. You know, these abusive people are affecting everybody in their family. No one gets to say, oh no, I was little, it didn't bug me, or oh no, I was grown, it, you know, it didn't affect me. It affects everybody. And so that's why we're doing this. That's why we're talking about it, and that's why we're sharing. So I thank you all again for liking and subscribing and following the page. Please continue to do so, and I will be back with some more videos. Ciao for now.